Today I'm going to be comparing this blue Syma S107HE versus this Syma S50H. Now I'm talking about this blue one because it actually is different. Depending on which color you get, the Syma S107HE, the blue one actually charges differently than the red one does. I believe this is the upgraded model, whereas the red one that I purchased is not. There's something to keep in mind when you're grabbing these helicopters is how they're going to charge. So this one from Syma, the S107HE, this blue model, actually charges with a plug-in charger. So it actually I have the charger sitting right over here. So it's actually going to use this little plug here, and it's going to plug into the side to charge the battery. So you don't have to take the battery in and out or anything like that. The S50H, however, has a tiny little power cord right there. That's then going to run underneath, and it has the battery that you then have to pull out of the bottom, like so. And then you have to disconnect it from the helicopter itself, like that. And then you have to charge this little tiny thing every single time. So the charger for that is actually going to be this little thing here. So it's going to be that. You have to take this and you have to plug it in, which can be a hassle. And then you then, of course, plug that into the wall. So I do like the charging port on the S107HE just because I feel like that's a lot easier. Now, granted, since you're not going to be taking out a battery, then over time, as the battery degrades, that will be an issue with the S107HE, this blue one. However, for me, the ease of charge is a lot better. I feel like I'm going to end up damaging the cord or the battery itself or even this tiny charger just because it has these really itty bitty tiny pins in there. So I feel like I'm going to end up damaging that before the battery life on this blue S107HE. And then again, putting it back in, you have to make sure you get it at the right angle. Like, does it go like that? Does it go like that? You have to try and get it in just right. You have to make sure it's shoved in all of the way. So you have to turn it like that, put it back in the slot, and then put the cover back in place. So you have to clip it kind of in place there. So I definitely like the charging on the S107 HE, this blue option, better than the one for the S50H. Now the S50H is considerably larger. You can see there it's going to be a much bigger helicopter. Both of these are going to be controlled. This is going to be the controller for the S50H and then the controller for the S107HE. So I like the controller on this one a bit better than I do on the S50H, but both of them do work exactly the same. So to get them started and to use them, you're just going to go ahead and turn the power on. So on this one, it's going to have, on the S107HE, you turn it on, and it's actually going to have lights on the sides and then also on the front. And then to connect it, you're just going to turn this on, push up and down, and then those lights are going to flash like that. So now you know that it's connected. Now it's going to go back to normal. On the S50H, the power button is actually going to be on the bottom. I'm just going to turn that on there, and it's just going to have a single light here on the front for when you connect it. So overall, both of them are good options. If I had to choose one, I would actually choose this blue S107HE because of the lights. I feel like that adds a lot to this helicopter. And then I also do love the way that this one charges versus that one. That tiny little cord makes it a lot harder to regularly charge this. So overall, both of them are decent, but it really is going to come down to if you prefer the larger helicopter, then you'll want to go with the S50H, or if you prefer the one that has a little bit of easier features and better features, so the easier charging and these better lights, I feel like makes this one a better choice, at least in my opinion.